The tennis world has seen Alexandra Eala do many things. They have seen her beat Iga Swiatek on center court. They have seen her climb to world number 28. They have seen her treated like a national hero in Germany. They have seen her break her silence on the financial struggles of professional tennis. But nobody, absolutely nobody, expected what she announced this week. Not a new sponsorship deal, not a Grand Slam title, a school. Alexandra Eala has opened a free school for orphaned children in the Philippines, and the fans are emotional, not because of what she won on the court, but because of what she is building off it. The cameras captured the ribbon-cutting ceremony in Quezon City. They captured the tears of the children who will now have a chance at an education, and they captured something else. A young woman who could have kept all her money, all her fame, all her success for herself, but chose to give it back. This is the story of how a 21-year-old tennis star became something more than an athlete. She became a lifeline.
Quezon City, Philippines, 2018. A 13-year-old girl sits in her family's living room. Her name is Alexandra Eala. She has just been accepted into the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain. It is the opportunity of a lifetime. But it comes with a price. She will have to leave her family, leave her friends, leave her country. Her parents, Rosemarie and Michael, sit across from her. They are proud, but they are also worried. Sending a 13-year-old girl halfway across the world is not an easy decision. The Eala family is not wealthy by Western standards, but they are rich in something else: love, support, belief. Her mother, Rosemarie, was a former SEA Games bronze medalist in swimming. Her grandfather was a keen club player who coached her brother and cousins before turning his attention to young Alex. Tennis was not just a sport in the Eala household, it was a family tradition. It was definitely a big decision for me, for us, Eala would later say. As soon as I heard that, I jumped at the opportunity because I knew that I had to get out of the country eventually to improve. She went to Spain. She trained. She struggled. She grew. And she never forgot where she came from. The academy has been my home for the past 7 years, she said in an emotional interview after her Miami Open breakthrough in 2025. Of course, my family should take credit for the foundation that they laid out before they sent me there. That foundation, those early years in Quezon City, the cracked courts, the borrowed rackets, the dreams that seemed too big for a girl from a country that had never produced the tennis star. Those memories never left her, and they are the reason she is doing what she is doing now.
Quezon City, Philippines, June 2026. A ribbon-cutting ceremony. The sun is hot, the air is thick with humidity, but nobody is complaining, because today something impossible has become possible. Alexandra Eala stands in front of a brand new building, a school, a free school for orphaned children, her school. The building is modest by Manila standards. 2 stories, 6 classrooms, a small library, a computer room with 10 donated laptops. But for the children who will walk through these doors, it is a palace. It is a second chance. It is proof that someone in this world cares about them. Eala cuts the ribbon. The crowd erupts, but it is not the roar of a tennis stadium. It is quieter. It is more emotional. There are tears. There are hugs. There are children holding signs that say "Thank you, Alex" in crayon. This school has been in the works for over a year. Eala started planning it after her Miami Open run in 2025, when she first realized the platform she had. She used a portion of her prize money, her endorsement earnings, and a fundraising campaign supported by Filipino fans around the world to make it happen. The land was donated by the local government. The construction was overseen by a non-profit organization that specializes in children's welfare. But the idea came from Eala herself. She wanted to create something that would last longer than any tennis trophy. Something that would help children who had nobody. Something that would give them the one thing she believed was most important: education. This is not about me, Eala said at the ceremony, her voice breaking. "This is about them. Every child deserves a chance to dream. I had my chance. Now I want to give them theirs." The cameras captured everything, and the fans back home, watching on live television, could not hold back their tears.
To understand why Alexandra Eala opened a school for orphan children, you have to understand her family. You have to understand the values they instilled in her. You have to understand that for the Ealas, success was never measured in money or trophies. It was measured in how you treated others. Her mother, Rosemarie Moniego Eala, is a former SEA Games bronze medalist in swimming. She understands the sacrifice that sports demand. She also understands that athletes have a responsibility to give back. When Alex was struggling in Spain, missing home, doubting herself, her mother was on the phone every single night. "You are not just playing for yourself," she would tell her daughter. "You are playing for every Filipino who never had the chance." Her brother, Miko, played college tennis for Penn State University. He knows what it is like to be far from home, chasing a dream. He has been Alex's biggest supporter from day one. When Alex won her first junior Grand Slam at the US Open in 2022, Miko was in the stands, crying. And then there is her grandfather, the man who taught her to hold a racket, the man who spent hours on the cracked courts of Quezon City hitting balls with a little girl who would not stop asking for more. He passed away before Alex became a star, but his voice never left her. "I was kind of the next in line to do that and to spend time with him," Eala once said of her grandfather. "It eventually blossomed into the career I have now." That career has taken her to the biggest stages in tennis. She has beaten Iga Swiatek. She has reached the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event. She has been named to the Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia list. She has climbed to world number 28. But none of that, she says, compares to the feeling of watching a child walk into a school that she built. "My grandfather always told me that education is the only thing no one can take away from you," Eala said at the ribbon-cutting ceremony. "He never had much, but he had his mind, and he taught me to use mine. This school is for him, and for every child who needs a grandfather to believe in them." The school exists because of Alexandra Eala, but the school exists because of her fans, too. When news first leaked that Eala was planning to open a free school for orphan children, the response was overwhelming. The Filipino diaspora around the world opened their wallets. They donated through official channels. They shared the campaign on social media. They turned a dream into reality. One fan, a 32-year-old overseas Filipino worker in Dubai, donated her entire month's salary. "I have no children of my own," she wrote in a message to Eala's foundation, "but if I can help one child go to school, that is enough for me." Another fan, a retired teacher in California, donated her pension. "I taught for 40 years. I know what education can do. Thank you for giving these children a chance." The campaign raised over $200,000 in just 2 weeks. Eala matched the amount from her own earnings. The Philippine government stepped in with additional funding, and the school was built. The fans who donated were invited to the ribbon-cutting ceremony. Some traveled from as far as the United States, Canada, and Europe to be there. They stood in the hot Manila sun, waving Philippine flags, crying tears of joy. For them, this was not just a school opening, it was proof that their love for Eala had meaning beyond tennis. "We cheer for her when she wins, but this is why we really love her, because she never forgot us, she never forgot where she came from." The cameras captured those words. They captured the hugs between fans and the children. They captured a moment that will be remembered long after Eala's tennis career is over.
Wimbledon, the US Open, Grand Slam titles, world number 1. These are the goals that Alexandra Eala still chases on a tennis court. But off the court, she has already achieved something that no trophy can measure. She has changed lives. The school in Quezon City is just the beginning. Eala has announced plans to open 2 more schools in the next 3 years, one in Cebu and one in Davao. She has also started a scholarship fund for talented young athletes who cannot afford training or equipment. The foundation she launched after the Birmingham Open fine controversy is now fully operational, with a board of directors that include former Philippine sports officials and education experts. "I am not just a tennis player," Eala said in a statement released after the school opening. "I am a Filipino, and being Filipino means taking care of each other. That is what my parents taught me, that is what my grandfather taught me, and that is what I will teach the next generation." The Philippine government has taken notice. The National Academy for Sports, a government-run academy for student athletes, has cited Eala's journey as a blueprint for developing Filipino talent. They want to create more athletes like her, not just champions on the court, but champions in life. "I saw firsthand the effects of poverty as a child," Eala once said in an interview that was widely shared after the school opening. "I know what it's like to wonder if you will have the resources to chase your dream. That is why I am doing this. No child should have to choose between food and education. No child should have to give up on their dream because they cannot afford it." The children who walked into that school on opening day will never forget her. They will grow up. They will graduate. Some of them will go to college. Some of them will become doctors, teachers, engineers, maybe even athletes, and they will tell their children about the tennis star who built them a school. That is legacy. That is what it means to be a national hero. Not just winning matches, but winning hearts. And Alexandra Eala has done both. The tennis world is stunned. Not by her backhand, not by her ranking, but by her heart. A 21-year-old woman who could have bought a mansion, a sports car, a private jet. Instead, she built a school for children who had nothing. And the fans are emotional, because in a world that often forgets the poor, the orphaned, the forgotten, Alexandra Eala remembered.